Hi, my name is Priyal Himanshu Kapadia, and my student ID is S2247411685. This is my task 3.1P of SIT. SIT Object Oriented Programming. In this task, there were 10 different activities which I was supposed to do. Each activity has their own functionality. I'm going to describe all of them in brief. The first one was just to take inputs, just to initialize the array, which has double values in it. There were different ways. Firstly, assigning it manually. As you can see, let me just explain my code first. This is I'm defining my array over here called and it will hold double value, and then initializing the array value. When initialized, this array will always have zero point 0.0 value. Also, to check this, I have ran a for loop, and then I have assigned it manually by array and then in brackets the index and the value which is supposed to be stored. But then I have commented that part, and then I have assigned the values using for loop. um, the for loop is started with integer I, which is equals to 0, and then it goes till the length of the array. And with every loop, with like every iteration, the value of I increases. Similarly, this is the point where it is just displaying the values using for loop. And now I'll explain the task 2 as well. This is task 1, and then the task 2 was to declare and initialize array with a set of given values, and then calculate the total, and then calculate the average. Total is calculated nothing simply by using for loop, running the loop, iterating it the same way, like with every loop I is increased, and the array and the I is used as index. And total to get the total, like with at 0 index, if it is 1, then 1 plus the 1 index is 2, then 3. Like similarly it is done. Uh, it is all done. I'll run both task 1 and task 2, as you can see over here. Just give me a moment. .NET build. And then this is .NET run, and then okay, fine, sorry, I have to move into the project. Task 3.1, and then .NET run. Mhm. See, like before assigning the value, it was 0.000, and then after assigning it is 1.1, 1.2. This is just a float. Like I searched it on Google that why is it like coming this way, because but then it showed that because the rounding of float elements has some issue, so it shows like this. It is nothing, there is no error in the code as such. Now I'll comment the first two tasks, and then we'll move to task 3, and then I'll explain task 3, 4, 5 together. All of them are very simple. Mm, Just give me a moment. So the task 2 is done. Now I'll explain task 3. Let me explain task 3 and task 4 together. And then task 5 also. No, task 5. Let's do it, no worries. Okay, so numbers is already defined. Okay, fine. I will have to explain. Hmm, Let me just explain, and then we'll run them differently. So now the task 3 was nothing but like we were supposed to declare a string array which will contain 6 students' name. It will take input. I have done over here the do like take input unless it is not null, and then if it is null, then write name cannot be empty. Please enter a valid value, and then if it is not null, then write the name and enter, like take the name. And then here I have like I was just debugging it because there was some error which I could not solve. It was not an error. I was just not reading the output properly. So I ran this debug confirm storage, like a step to confirm. And then I have commented it as well. And then we are not doing nothing but using for loop throughout the array of strings and printing the names which were added. Let me go through that again. Let me just uncomment it, and then hmm. Okay, so student one L. Okay, as you can see, now it read all the outputs. I'll comment them again. Okay. Fine, let's move to task 4. In this task, I was supposed to create an array with 5 numbers. And I was supposed to take the number input, and then I was supposed to make sure give the output as which is the minimum and which is the maximum. Nothing doing the same thing, running for loop to take the input using console.write and then storing it in number I, so that the index at 0 index this number will be stored, at 1 index this number will be stored. Nothing, and then initializing minimum and maximum with index 0. Um, now uh, now comparing it with every number. So if any number which is less than the minimum, which is the first index, it will change the minimum. And if and for maximum the same way, and hence the whole loop is created, and then I have printed the minimum and maximum, as you can see over here. I'll run the code. 999 909 000 Okay, done. Let's move to task 5. In this task, I was supposed to do was search a value, and in this task, give me a moment. Yeah. Mm, yes. So I was supposed to just search one of the value. If the value is there in the array, then it will print the value, and if it is not, and print the index as well. And if it is not, then it will print that there is no value found. Over here I have done the same thing. Firstly, taking input using for loop, and then asking the user to give any value to search, and then comparing the value by running for loop with the index, with the values at particular index. I'll explain this over here. I'll show you the demonstration over here. Let's say 9, 0, 88, 66, 7. Now let's search for 7. Then it is at index 4. Similarly, let's move to task 6 of the task 6. It was like 2D array. I was supposed to do nothing but take the 2D, make a 2D array. I have initialized the 2D array with 3 rows and 4 columns, and then this and I have put some sample values as well. And then I have run nested loop, the first loop for the rows and the second loop for the columns inside the rows. I'll show you the practical demonstration over here. I have written everything in comments so that the video is shorter and it does not take much time, because then it is really difficult to upload the longer videos. I have commented everything though. Now let's move to task 7. In this task 7, everything was similar, mostly similar things. There was this one new thing used, that is called random function. The random function literally does is nothing but picks up a random value from the given range, that is the start and the stop. The stop is not included. It will not take 13 anytime. It will take a number between 1 to 12 only. And then I have uh, I have over here, like, it just does is like sets the size of the list from the random number. That's it. I'll run the out code. So as you can see, we will have the, like, the random number over here. So it has choose 5. I'll exit it because, okay, no worries. I'll write it. Done. That's it. Now I'm supposed to do is run the task 8 as well. I'll explain task 8 and run it as well. The task 8 is um the task 8 is like is about the palindrome. Palindrome is nothing but anything, any list which when reversed gives the original one only, is called a palindrome. I have created like a few test palindrome arrays. Test array 1, test array 2, test array 3. And then I have made a palindrome function as well. And the palindrome function does is nothing but checking. Firstly, it checks for the null. If it is like a null or empty array, then it returns false by itself. And if it is not, then what it does is, firstly what we do is define the starting index left as 0, and then define the ending index right as the length of the array minus 1. And then and it compares like elements from both the ends. If both the ends are equal, then it is a palindrome. And if it is not and if it is not equal, then it is not a palindrome. um Here I have listed a few test arrays. I'll run the um, code as well. As you can see, over here I have listed the output as well, because like 1221 will give, if it is a palindrome, so it should give true. This is also a palindrome, it should give true. 321, and then if we reverse it, then it is 123, then it is not a palindrome, hence it should give false, and when it is null it should also give false, and it has given us the same output. Now let's move to task 9. The task 9 is nothing but merging two lists. It is like if both the lists are in ascending order, it merges the list, and if it is not, then it says that there is one or more not in ascending order. And for that also, I have created few functions where, just give me a second, I need to uncomment them. Yes. So these are like the functions which are checking them. So first is the is sorted function. It checks for like if the elements, it loops through the list until the second last element, and then compare each element with the next one. And then there is one other function called merge to list. If both the lists are in ascending order, then only it merges. Like if is sorted is true, like, and then is sorted list B is also true, then it is like it will merge, like it is, if both the lists are ascending order, then it will merge, and if it is not, then it will print that one or both lists are not sorted. I have commented everything so that the video does not get long. I'll run the code as well. I have given two arrays like 1, 3, 5, 7, 1, 2, 4. Firstly, it was 6, 8, but then I tried with, see, when it was 69, it printed that no, one or both list is not sorted, so merge failed. Now we'll try with 6, 8, so it will merge the list because all the values are in ascending order. So it will 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I'll move to task 10, which is the last task of the program. And okay, and the task 10 is nothing but a 2D, like just give me a moment, let me uncomment it first. Okay. Okay, so here I have taken two example of 2D array and then calling and displaying the resulting array conversions. Here there is array conversion happening. I have created one function called array conversion for that, and the function does it. It gets the, firstly what it does is that get length 0 is like calling the rows, and then get length 1 is like calling the elements like columns, and then running the for loop, and printing the array, returns it to 2 array. We'll run this function over here. It should, mm, yes, converted the 1D array of odd numbers. It is only converting the odd numbers like 2, 4, and 2, 4, 6, 8. These are not taken in, only 7, 1. The odd numbers are taken in the one array. The, like, yes. So I guess that's all. This was my task. Thank you.